What's up, guys? Lachlan here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys some tips on ways to improve in Call of Duty. I've had some people ask me, "Yo, what do you think I could do to be better? What would help me? What are some things that have helped you?" So I'm just going to go through and show you some basic tips on things that'll help you get better. And I'm trying to make it short and sweet. It's not going to be a long, lengthy video. I will go in more depths on other things if people have any questions. But yeah, so reasons you should listen to me. I've been a top 250 player for a very long time. I've been a streamer of COD for 3 years. You know, been streaming, kind of making this a job for a while. Um, so yeah, those are some reasons to listen to me, and I'll jump into it. One thing you're gonna want to do for sure too is make sure that you have the proper classes. I see a lot of people in ranked play or lower ranks that just don't have the proper classes. They just have some random attachments that no one's using. You don't know the meta better than the pro players or the best players in the world. You don't have the class that's better than the other one. I promise you, the class that the pros are using is the best class. In ranked play, you can't use recoil springs right now. Hopefully, it'll be allowed, but make sure you're using this class. Like, make sure you're using what the best people in the world are using. Go. There's a reason that they're using it. So I wouldn't use things other than what the best people are using. The alternative class to this are alternatives that are good. I will say that. Ported comp on your AR is not bad. You can use vertical grip with it. Or what some people use, they will use infiltrator stock. This is a class that some people use. It's not a bad class. I don't personally like it, but it is not a bad class. It's not what I like using, but that doesn't mean it's a bad class. There is a level of personal preference, and there's a level of not using the correct class. You're going to want to make sure that you have good settings. So this is my controller settings. I play default flipped. I personally like that. These are my sensitivities. You can change these. Most people will run like 1.6 to 1.7. I've always had my vertical a little bit higher. Just kind of personal preference. Controller vibration off. Just stuff like this. Dead zones are important. So for my right stick max, I run 4. I wouldn't really go any higher than 7 on this. If you get stick drift on your right stick, up it a little bit if it's bothering you. For me, stick drift doesn't really bother me. Left stick max, have this as low as you can. 1, 2. I wouldn't go any more than 2 on this. For your left stick max, some people play as low as like 40. This is just personal preference. This will change how fast your left stick basically responds. I like having mine at 85. Anything lower, it just feels like it's moving a little too fast. And you can test your dead zones. See if you have any stick drift. My left stick has a little bit of stick drift, but if I recenter it, it's fine. And a little bit of left stick drift isn't a bad thing. Basically give you more aim assist. For the triggers, I don't use the triggers to do anything other than throw stuns or nades. I had this super high because one of my controllers was broken, but this doesn't really matter. If you're not playing flip, then I would have these at 0, but for me, it doesn't really matter. For aiming, I don't mess with any of these sensitivity multipliers. Sometimes I think less is more, and the more you start messing around with this stuff, the more you can just start tweaking on it. Make sure you run dynamic. That's about it. Yeah, I don't mess around with any of the custom zooms. Not motion sensor, make sure you have this off. This is just a useless setting. Sprinting, make sure you have sprint assist on. But you can do sprint assist, like tactical, whatever. I just have it on. Sprint assist delay, make sure you have this on 0 so there's no delay. Sprint assist sideways and backwards, it'll just start sprinting for you left and right. And backwards, obviously. Mantle assist, I like having mine off. On all of the off because it I don't like jumping things like incidentally. I like making sure that I have full control of my movement. For corner slice, I like having it off. I just felt like it was kind of a useless setting. I didn't really care for it. Slide dive, I have it on slide only. I just noticed that I wasn't really diving much. So hybrid, hybrid's not a bad setting, but I don't really care for it. Yeah, movement, sprint, restore, all this stuff. I think that's like a Warzone setting. Combat, this isn't really a big deal. I don't think there's really much in here that really matters. Just like mounting. I like tap to interact. Just so I can pick things up and close doors faster, and then I just hold to reload. That's one little setting that I do like. Overlay. I don't think there's anything really important here. Another thing is probably graphics. You don't have to run your game at super high settings. Make sure you have like your VSync turned off. Low latency on, plus boost. It doesn't matter really. I prefer mine on. Make sure you're playing on full screen exclusive. This is really important for frames and just quality of life. I don't really think there's much else to it. Fidelity cast, make sure you're running fidelity cast. I wouldn't use anything else. VRAM, I run mine lower. I noticed hitching when I'd have it a little bit higher, so I've always just kind of ran it lower. And then I run most of my things at normal or off. You know, you don't really need high settings. View, I run my field of view at 98. Yeah, I think this is a really important setting. I know that a lot of people will run theirs at a high setting, like 120 or something. I would not use high 120. I wouldn't go any higher than 105 in multiplayer. Warzone it's different, but multiplayer I wouldn't go any higher than 105. Make sure you have all the motion blur stuff turned off, camera movement at least, all this stuff. Audio, I use Super Punch or Sucker Punch. This has been the best one for me. I have a mixer, so even though it's at 100, I can change it. None of this really matters. I like the reduced tinnitus sound. It doesn't have like a ringing if you get stunned or naded. There was another setting that was kind of important, I remember. Oh, asymmetrical hearing compensation. This helps, like, hearing things. For whatever reason, this helps. It just makes it sound better in the game. Like, maps on, like, Protocol, the rain doesn't sound as loud. Interface, gameplay HUD. Make sure you have your minimap on square. I turn my minimap up to scale. I turn the icon scale up. You know, just sort of things. Nothing really. This stuff is all personal preference. It's not a big deal. Yeah, I don't really think anything else matters. Okay, so now we'll get into how to improve, like, mechanically and things that I find very useful. So what I would say is, you know, free-for-alls, like bot lobbies, are very important. What I do is just, you know, max the score limit out, put health regen on fast, radar always on directional, and then just add all the bots. Another setting I forgot to mention that you could try out is increasing the health of the bots. That way, when you're shooting at the bots, you have to hit more bullets to kill them. So you can practice like shooting through your enemies. That way, you're never undershooting. Okay, so now that you're in a bot lobby, what I would say is something that's helped me. Like, if my shot feels a little off, I'll go to aiming, and I'll just turn off aim assist, and I'll just go around, you know, shoot the bots, shoot them without aim assist. And if you have no aim assist, like, see my shot, for example, a little shaky. You just want to shoot a couple bots without aim assist, get used to it. And this isn't, like, supposed to be an example of, like, you know, get cracked on the bots. Like, just let yourself warm up, dude. It's just a warm up. You don't have to come in here, like, getting super cracked. Warm up your movement. You know, just get ready to play. Don't just, like, hop right in. Think about it like anything, just warm up, you know? Make sure you're warming up your movement, jumping around. Moving, sliding. You know? Stuff like this helps a lot, you know, even though it's minuscule. You know, I've shot like 11 bots. I'd say like shoot like, you know, as many as you need. Shoot like 20 or something. Another thing you can do is while you're shooting bots and turning off aim assist, you know, up your sense a little bit. Get used to it being really fast. So, you know, when you have your aim assist on and your sense is a little lower, it'll feel better. It'll feel tighter. You don't feel so loose. You know, things like that. You know, you can use any gun. Whatever. Stuff like this is like undervalued. I don't know if a lot of people warm up and stuff, but stuff like this helps a lot. Yeah, Yeah, make sure you're warming up, whatever. And then say you run out of ammo in your AR, like you're completely out of ammo, switch to your pistol, dude. Just make sure you're warming up your pistol shot as well. It's extremely useful to be good with a pistol, especially if you run out of ammo or you're using an AR in your close range engagements. Turn aim assist back on. So another thing to practice is like shot punching. Punching is super useful too. Like, make sure you get used to, like, if you get in a close range engagement, you're thinking about punching the enemy. Get your muscle memory there. You know? Like, think about just training yourself to punch the enemy. Like, don't worry about, like, you know, dying. Punch, shoot, whatever. All these things are super useful. Movement, shot, using different weapons, stuff like that. All sorts of things that are super useful. And I didn't mention it in the recording of this video, but I wanted to say do it longer than I did. This is just for an example. You know, shoot a couple hundred bots, get used to this, make sure you're warming up adequately. Don't shortcut it, because the amount that I did is not enough. This is just for an example. Okay, and then another tip on things that can help you get better, dude, just play pubs. Honestly, just go hop into like Nuketown or 10v10 mosh pit, you know, something with a lot of engagement. Face off mosh pit, maybe not as useful, but say Nuketown or 10v10. We'll play 10v10 for this example. Hopefully we get a good map. But the thing is, like, don't care about your stats, don't care about your KD, don't care about winning when you're playing pubs. If your main goal is to get, you know, individually better or mechanically better, which is going to help you progress a lot, then I wouldn't worry too much about your individual stats while playing. Also, the firing range is one of your best friends. While you're sitting in the pregame lobby, dude, sit here, just shoot your gun. Work on your recoil control. Work on your recoil control. Sit there, shoot against the wall. See how tight you can make that bullet spray.
Oh shit, hold up.
So now when you get into a pub, and what I mean with, you know, stop trying, stop caring about your stats, like, chow everything. Get used to chowing, like, uncomfortable gunfights. Like, see, I'm out in the open. That's not a preferable gunfight, you know? Just get used to chowing uncomfortable gunfights. So when you are caught off guard or you are in a bad position where you don't want to be, you're used to it. You're not just, you know, you're not only good if you're sitting here crouched on a heady, or only good if you're sitting in a corner, you know? Like, I'm not sitting here worrying about going positive or doing well or anything, you know? It's pubs. Treat pubs like public matches and use them as a tool to get better, so that when you do play game modes like ranked play, you are getting better. Like, you know, these people are gonna probably kill you a lot because they're gonna be sitting in corners or sitting on headies that you don't have, because, you know, their main goal isn't to get better and take unwinnable gunfights. You know, use the same gun that you would use in ranked play. Use the same gun that you would, use in ranked play. And just go for as many engagements as you can. Don't worry about going positive. Don't worry about being in the best position. Don't worry about winning the game. Just worry about, getting as many gunfights as you can and getting in them as fast as you can. But I'm not, that way you're just used to challenging uncomfortable gunfights. Don't just play to win the pub or have the highest KD. That's not going to help you get better. Sitting in a corner and waiting for someone to run past you to shoot them in the back isn't going to make you a better player. Sitting on a heady the whole game isn't going to make you a better player, especially in a ranked scenario. Like, I'm not saying do this in a ranked situation when you're trying to win the game, but I am saying use public match as a tool to, get better at the game. Sit there and use it as target practice. It's another thing to do other than just shoot bots. You get to play real people that are moving around. Things that will help you.